Are you working? Unit 91. Unit 91. Is it working? It's not working. Unit 91. Unit 91. Audio's okay. Benjamin Harris, man, what's going on, Braj? Party time. Clayton Gerard, what's going on, Brajes? It's just Paul, what's going on, man? Darren Blackwood. Some tells me tonight's the night. Man, what's going on, Braj? Party time. Clayton Gerard, what's going on, Brajes? It's just Paul, what's going on, man? Darren Blackwood. Some tells me tonight's the night. One sec. One sec. These aren't working. All right, here we go. Taking this. And we're plugging it into. Just 1 second, guys. Apologize for the delay. Something like that. Ryan Carter, man. I'm wearing your t-shirt. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Is it working? Mic check. Shark Homebrewing. What's going on, man? Clayton Gerard. Tonight's the night. We're going to break 100 people. Hack Attack. KCH. What's going on? Just chilling, man. We have Northern Brewer coming on tonight. Todd's waiting in the green room. We just did a sound check. What's going on, Dad? Pops is here. Big Pops. Paul Hardy. Hope everyone's well. Let me change this up a little bit. Happy brewing. Let me know what you guys have got going on in the in your fermenters, what you're drinking tonight. I'm still drinking my Northern Brewer extract, my brown ale, or my amber ale. It's delicious. Amber ale, brown ale, potato. Todd Kipping, what's going on, man? Goosefraba in the house. Big shout out to Goosefraba. Super chatter last week. Andy B, what's going on? What are we talking about tonight? Glad everyone's here. Really quick, big shout out to who was on last week. It was Brewing with Matt Ushman. Shout out to anybody that was here on Thursday. Thanks for being here. And then before that, it was Short Circuited and Just Brewing. Short Circuited's out there in Columbus, Ohio. Just Brewing's out there in Houston, Texas. Seamus McMasters, man. Irish Red and a Stout. My man. He's dual wielding. Amber Ale Shark Blood. Sounds like a pizza port beer. Yeah, we got Todd coming in right now. Northern Brewer. I want to talk a lot about, we kind of did a little rehearsal, how much we can talk about Budweiser getting bought and then not getting bought, or how do you get unbought, being with Budweiser and then not being with Budweiser. And welcome to my favorite night of the week. It's Wednesday night. We get a lot more love on Wednesdays than we do Thursdays. So cheers to everybody. Apartment Brewer sent me beers this week. Thank you, Steve. He's coming on next week. I've got Ross from Clawhammer coming on next week. It's going to be a riot. Check that out. I think it's next Wednesday. Ross looks like the separated at birth clone of me. And it should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. G-Funked, man. Big shout out to G-Funked, man, for that super chat last weekend. Really quick before I forget. Let me talk about the guys that helped produce the show. All of the show. Homebrew for Life, the Hoppy Hour. Village Idiot Brewing, thank you for your super chat. Pony Pasture Brewing out there in Virginia. You're a barrage. Gonzalez-Zymology, much love. Alyaz Mohamed, Brandon McMillan, Ron Barnes, Clawhammer Supply. We'll see you next week. Try to get Kyle on too. I want to get Emmett on as well. Scooby-Doo 50, Austin Maddox, Theron. He's in here right now, man. Theron, what's going on, you brunch? Hunter Henderson, I think he's in here. I saw him. Elementary, Sober October is over. Sober October became Sober November real fast. Yeah, I made it 11 days, and I hated it. I hated every second of it. I don't know if I'm more pissed off when I'm drunk or when I'm sober. Tman, much love, man. Goosefraba, thanks for the super chat. The Apartment Brewer, G-Funk, thank you so much, man. Hanukkah came early, G-Funk 24. Zacharie McCrary and Brandon Chamberlain. I appreciate all you guys. That produces this thing to do this thing full time, whatever this thing that I'm doing is, and keeps it going consistently, man. So much love to you guys. Like I said, we've got Northern Brewer coming on tonight. Apartment Brewer sent me beers. He sent me Heady Topper. It's going to be the first time I have that. I don't know if I should crack it tonight or wait till Steve comes on. I think it's only fair. He sent me some home brews too. Czech Pilsners, and he sent me bottles. That's that River Dog, that SOB, man. He ships bottles. I really want to talk about Northern Brewer with Budweiser, and we're going to figure that out. There was a Homebrew Fly video this week. This is just a weird video. It was reacting to our old videos, and a lot of people said I'm too hard on myself or I'm bummed out. It's just cringy. I thought it was going to be more of a cringe thing. I was just kind of pissed off the whole time. And I hope that I'm more pissed off next time when I look back after another 200 videos and look at what we're putting out these days. And it blows my mind with how shitty some of the stuff is. What's the most overrated beer? I don't know. Probably the most popular beer. I can answer that right now. What's the most overrated beer? Probably Pliny the Elder, or the most popular beer. What's the most overrated beer? Somebody asked me that. That's completely subjective. The most overrated thing is probably the best thing. That's my answer for that. What's the newest trend in beer? Over, under on ABV poll. Over, under on ABV poll. We'll talk about that. Jay Reynolds, what's going on, man? Matt's here. Matt Ushman. I need to get a beer. Yes, you do, Matt. Yes, you do. Henrik back. Delta 8 Seltzer sounds amazing. Henrik, what's going on, man? Where are you from? Darren Blackwood. UPS, FedEx, or USPS for sending beers? Without question, USPS. UPS and FedEx is a giant ripoff. Party time in the house. Braj Boy Ben, what's up, you brunch? Bodine's Brews. Is it still Sober October? Bodine's Brews, we missed you, man. Do not delete the old videos. I'm not going to delete the old videos. And I went to Maury's work today. Maury's over there working for Trevor. Brandon Chamberlain, $3 super chat. Thank you, Brandon. Cheers to you. We'll get that NBC fun going right now. I was hanging out with Maury at Trevor's Brewery today, South O. Me and my buddy John Goman. He's a pro skater. We have some decks up. What am I doing? If I hold up a beer, I better take a sip. We've got some decks up in the garage, pro skateboard decks, and it's our buddy John Goman. We all hung out today. He's actually coming over here at 7 o'clock. We're going to get some dinner. And what am I talking about? Oh, me and Maury were watching our old videos, and we were just laughing at him. It was like the... oh man, the one video I liked, the old video was the this was like 4.5 years ago, was the bacon beer, or the meatball sandwich beer, porter meatball sandwiches. That was great. That was delicious. And then we made some other St. Patrick's Day thing, and it sucked, but we made it anyway, and we just did it. Elementary in the house, man. What's going on? Alyaz, thank you for the super chat last week. You're the Braj. Much love. All right, let's get Northern Brewer in here, man. I want to hear what's going on with them. They're great. Really quick, Northern Brewer is one of the... Todd, are you in here? Todd Jackson? Northern Brewer is one of the few brands that we can work with because it's all pretty much recipes. You can't go wrong with recipes, so they're all universal. It's not like, hey, do I get this electric system versus this electric system? It's like, no. We all need hops. We all need yeast. We all need grains. We all need kits. We all need supplies. Northern Brewer is kind of in a league of their own. I guess if anything, their biggest competition would be Midwest Brew Co. or Midwest Supplies. Maybe Amazon. It's a good question. Dan Johnson, what's up, man? Did the whole sous vide thing, magnet thing. Oh, right on. He did the Homebrew Fly Fact. Did the whole sous vide magnet thing for Dry Hopping Monday. Accidentally bumped the magnet to knock the bag in on day one. You're fine. Still going to have good beer. You'll live to tell about it, man. But I appreciate you watching that video. Elementary in the house. Jerry Chavez. What's going on, brunch? Welcome. All right, without further ado, let me get the man of the hour in here. Northern Brewer, the brand ambassador, I think. All right, where'd he go? Let me know if the Dodgers are losing. I hate the Dodgers. There's Dodgers fans in the house. It's all good. I just hate the Dodgers with all my heart, more than I hate Belgians. I'm kidding. I hate the Dodgers way more. Todd, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. What's going on, man? All right, I'm pulling you in, Braj. Let me go back to my little. We're gonna do a window capture, and we're gonna go to Toady Todd Likes Beer. All right, what's going on, man? This is Todd. This is Northern Brewer in the house. That's exactly right. Let me make this smaller, and then I'm going to make you bigger, man. So what's your, I called you the brand ambassador over there. What's your actual title over at Northern Brewer?
Well, I guess technically I'm a customer experience director, so I work, got
They're saying no audio. Let me get the audio going really fast. I can hear the audio. No sound. Can't hear Todd. We're going to have to redo that question. Headphones. Audio out. Audio out. Audio out. Audio out. Audio out. Todd, give me something. I get short-circuited brewers in the house. What's going on, Brian? We can't hear him. Brian's here. I'm sure you talked to Brian. Todd says, what's up? I've got audio out, and this should be an easy fix at this point because I can hear you. I got you. I can hear you. Let me check it out on this end. It's all good. The night is young, and so are not we. Toby Fairweather. I don't know what's happening over here. Still can't hear him. Span it. Scream it, Todd. How come Spanish Castle Magic can hear you, but nobody else can? Still no audio. All right, let me go to audio out, and we're going to go to... How about now? How's now?
How about now? Anybody here, Todd?
CH Flexion on having audio. Check one. Can we hear him now?
Check.
Yeah, we got you.
1, 2.
We got you.
All right.
It was on my end. All right, we're good to go. So really quick.
Come on,
So
CH.
do you mind? I know, my bad, man. I'm blowing it already. So okay, so they didn't hear you. What's your affiliation? What do you do over at
Sure.
Northern Brewer?
So my main gig at Northern Brewer is the customer experience director. I oversee the customer service team, the retail teams, dabble a little bit in our wholesale channels, and then also this BrewTube social media piece of the pie where I get to talk to everybody that's making content about home brewing and spreading the word of this hobby that we love so much. And
Absolutely.
What,
I'm
what's
stoked
going
you're
on,
here,
so-
man. I'm really stoked you're
Hey,
here.
thanks.
Short Circuited, stoked you're here. I think you guys know each other. Short Circuited donated $20, man. Big shout out to Brian over there at Short Circuited. He says MBC for Todd Jackson. 7:45 his time. Thank you, Brian. Cheers, Braj. Good job on your
covered.
Good job on your video today. We're gonna be doing some MBCs, man. Big shout out to Brian and Brandon Chamberlain. So recently, you guys have been reaching out to more brew tubers. How come this happened now and not years ago?
Well, years ago, we had Brewing TV. That was our main gig.
I remember that.
The life that started. We still have good friends that did that bit.
Wow.
And man, I tell you what, this is actually my 5th ownership at Northern Brewer that I'm on. Throughout the years, I started back in history at Midwest Supplies.
A lot of turn.
And,
The enemy.
yeah.
The enemy. Is that
enemy,
safe
no.
to say? Is that your biggest competitor, Midwest Supplies?
So I saw the question was asked. We're actually partner companies, so Taco Bell and Pizza Hut, that whole relationship kind of thing. That happens with Northern Brewer and Midwest Supplies. They are separate businesses. Everything runs on its own, different pricing models and
Same owner.
promotions and everything else. But it does all fall under the same group. So
I did not know
that
that.
actually happened in 2013, I think, 2012, 2013.
What year is it now? So that was like 8 years ago?
Now it's- Yeah, it's been a long time actually. And it's just not something that's overly public, but at the same time, not overly not public. Plenty of people do know, especially the homebrew community is pretty small, and you start poking around and spending time on forums or channels, and people start talking about it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, not cutting you off, but let me know if I'm overstepping my bounds because we want to know a lot about the Budweiser stuff. And just give me 2 squints or something if your boss is
earlier,
watching.
Man, if you hear me just say, no, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I'm just here so I don't get fined, man. Okay, if we hear some Marshawn Lynch stuff, we gotta just go to the chat, pick up a new topic. But
right.
So 5 different ownerships since 2013. Yeah. How long have you been with Northern Brewer?
So I started.
I've been with
I
the
started with
conglomerates
Midwest back in 2011. And so I started homebrewing in 2007. Got laid off from my Target corporate gig, and I decided to go back and do something that was fun. And so I started working at Midwest. Then the first year it was sold to a PE group, and then it just kind of started to roll. And then Midwest and Northern Brewer came together, and then eventually Anheuser-Busch showed up, and they had some
They do
plans
that.
they do.
They do that.
It was kind of a shock, but they saw an opportunity in home brewing, much like their brew pubs. I think that people they were able to expand brands throughout the world basically, and get over to Europe and do some of that. It just doesn't take off like that in home brewing. Beer is a different culture in America, and changes, and even in Canada, it's different than what we see in the U.S.
It's different from our West Coast to our East Coast.
Right, exactly.
Beer's based off pretty much all culture. I mean, beer's different based on from culture to culture. Really quick, I want to give a shout out to Elementary Brewing Co. is tipped $10. I don't know if you watch his channel, Todd, but he's got a great channel. He's been putting out content for about a year now, and put them on your radar because his videos are getting significantly better. And he's a rad guy in the community. So just keep Elementary Brew Co. on your radar.
I'm aware of what they're doing. I know they just recently did a Northern Brewing kit too. So
yeah. Cool.
We'll probably talk and see if there's some opportunities there to help out.
Hell yeah. And Bodine's Brews, how do we donate now? You can't. It's a Magic Genie thing. And it's not to be a shithead or anything, but we don't do it through YouTube anymore. And I want to talk to Short Circuit about that, because when you're streaming, people do throw money at it. And YouTube takes way too much. But it's out of control how much they take. And so I just do it through Streamlabs, is which we're running it through. So it's pretty much just through PayPal. And I think PayPal takes about 3%. But on the giving end, on the receiving end, if I get $20, I want to get close to that $20. If I'm sending Brian, Short Circuited, or Larry $20, I want them to have $20. So the best course of action is just to go through Streamlabs. And that might deny some super chats, but you at least get closer to the real amount of it. And that makes more logic to me, makes more sense to me. Kurt Pick, what up, brunch? By the way, this beer I'm drinking right now is very good, man. That kit worked out very well. Awesome. And I didn't really have to blow smoke up Northern Brewer's ass, because you guys have the best starter kit for the price. It comes with a recipe. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys do kits with glass, but I'm very anti-glass, and that kit didn't come with glass. And for $110, it was, I don't know how you guys are making money off that. Unless you're,
we make a little bit of money. We try to work hard to make sure that that's the case. But at the same time, we know that getting people into home brewing, spreading the word, is probably the best thing for our business.
Yeah.
So now's the time when people start shopping for Christmas. We want to be that kit that is the best and easiest for people to do. It can seem a little bit like Big Bad Northern Brewers got this sweet, cheap kit, but really the goal is to keep people brewing, and then hopefully, once they're into that, they're going to find that local homebrew shop, or, the Hoppy Hour, or any of the BrewTube channels, and really get into it, and hopefully just keep that whole group of homebrewers growing and spreading the word.
Pretty much that's exactly my mission statement at Homebrew for Life, because if people aren't brewing beer,
it's a long one.
They're not buying your products, and they're not watching our videos. But I think if people have that kit, and one thing we didn't talk about was that checking gravity from a glass carboy is a nightmare. And back in the day when we'd have glass carboys, the old wives' tale was just to let it ferment for 2 weeks. But it's like, yeah, because we couldn't check the gravity. But if you have a spigot, and you can have a spigot on a plastic bucket, and they work better because it's got more give as far as leaks go, you could check your gravity 2-3 days. And it's not like, don't check your gravity with 8 ounces for the hydrometer to fill up. You're not wasting beer. Don't dump it back into your bucket. Just drink it. Right. Do an alcohol test. Easy fix.
Yeah, and I think it's the easy way to learn, right? Yeah. Just to see when somebody does that for the first time and gets to taste put it into the fermenter, how sweet it is, and then after a week, how it changes, and then how much better it gets by the time you pop that first bottle.
Absolutely. We got an NBC coming up. We just got a $25 donation from Bodine's Brews for the rent.
Woo-hoo!
Big shout out to Bodine's Brews. I'm going to take that money, and I'm going to tip my friend Scott at the Compass very well tonight, because like I said, I'm going out to dinner with a friend I haven't seen in 6 months, who's actually in some of the original Homebrew for Life videos. If you watch our braised short rib video with Booze Brothers Sun Up Stout. He made that video. He's a little camera shy. Back in the day, we used to call him shy. Now people call him introverted, which I think is kind of a fucked up word. It sounds like you're something different than shy, but he's kind of shy. So it's kind of cool to get him on the video. And I'm hanging out with him tonight, so I'm going to take that Bodian's Brews donation and tip my buddy Scott well.
You're going to end up with the roommate, man.
What's up?
You're going to end up with the roommate.
I'm not going to. I can have a guy sleep on my couch for a night or two. I could put anybody up, any one of my friends up, but I can't do roommates. I can't do roommates because I'm the disgusting one. I'm the gross one. And they're going to call me out, and I'm going to be like, well, I let you live here. It's just you don't live with friends. You don't need roommates.
Yeah.
You don't I don't know. Would you get your friend a job? I've burned too many bridges, or my friends have fucked up way too many times that I just when it comes to friends, like we're just hanging out, we're drinking beers and we're going to Padre games. I don't need to get you a job or need to get you on the lease here. I don't know, just the whole business, friends and family, or business and pleasure. You got to keep it up. So Yeast and the Beast, shout out to Yeast and the Beast. He's got a great YouTube channel too. He's out there in Texas. He doesn't tell us his real name. I don't know. He's weird, but I love him for it. Why did Northern Brewer split away from AB InBev?
Sure.
Really quick. What is AB InBev?
AB InBev, the world's biggest beer company, Anheuser-Busch, started back, by the August or Busch family. I don't even know when, but the king of beers, the giant conglomerate. And then we were actually held by an investment arm of Anheuser-Busch called ZX Ventures.
Okay. And AB InBev, they own like 80 or 100 brands, right?
Yeah, they have a ton of brands, and they're disliked in the homebrew community for buying up some of the more popular craft brands and then changing them up and making changes, making them, I guess in the AB world, more efficient, or trying to find efficiencies. That just changes the culture of those breweries a little bit, and usually doesn't go over very well.
I want to
craft beer side of things.
Who's the head honcho at Budweiser? Is it just like this Uncle Scrooge, Daniel Day-Lewis, Gangs of New York character? Like, who's the guy that wants to...
Sure. There's a lot of Brazilians in the leadership roles for ABI. So
I did not know
Carlos
that.
Brito is the CEO. It's part of the whole big mix of
Trump.
Where the Inbev comes in. It was a different company outside of the U.S. that bought Anheuser-Busch. And so then there's kind of a takeover there, and so that's where it gets. There's a great book if you really want to get into it called The King of Beers, and it gets into how it all happened and the takeover.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it's like not Brazilians. You think it's like Wolf of Wall Street, Michael Douglas, Donald Trump, like these, I don't know, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates guys. That I would have put my money on that. That's interesting. I didn't know it was South Americans, but
yeah, it's a huge international organization, that's for sure.
The Village Idiot has just donated $10. Big shout out to the Village Idiot. Just say no to AB InBev. You know what? I'm so out of the Budweiser category because I don't think I buy Budweiser products. I'll buy a couple Mickey's beers here and there. But my Budweiser is Stone and Ballast Point. I don't really support the guys that sold out solely. It's the ongoing debate. Do you support brands that have sold out? I don't really have a big problem with Ballast Point. They sold out. That's fair. They definitely won in that. Constellation lost. Constellation bought that for way too high. Ballast Point definitely won in that acquisition. Stone, though, when I first started drinking and remember Stone in high school, everything was like yellow fizz is for wussies and you're not worthy. Pretty much shut up and drink it, you pussy. Like 7-8% beers. And now they're the exact opposite. They're doing hard seltzers. They're doing pilsners. They're teaming up with Metallica. They're doing everything that they didn't set out to do. And to me, they just kind of lost their way. That's me. Who am I? Nobody. If you like Stone as their beer, great. Absolutely. It's delicious. Not knocking their beer, just kind of knocking their avenue of, I don't know,
Sure.
perception and how, however they wanted to be perceived. But I get it. Everyone's trying to make money with hard seltzers and Pacifico, craft beer wannabe Pacificos. So, but as far as Budweiser goes, they're on like Mars in the homebrew world.
Right.
I think that, what's up?
It was pretty crazy to all of a sudden have them kind of show up and show interest in our hobby, So
the one thing I didn't like about Budweiser was and correct me if I'm wrong, but when the 805 was successful from Firestone, I'm not a fan of that beer. I don't really drink blondes. It's like, to me, it's a cheese omelet with nothing on it. It's an omelet with nothing on it. It's a cheese pizza. But it was 805, which is based off an area code, which is in the Central California coast, which is kind of around San Luis Obispo. But when it was 805, I heard that Budweiser bought up every single zip code and trademarked it in all of America. Did you hear that? So you couldn't call a beer 3 numbers anymore?
I haven't heard that. I know there's 312 out of Goose Island, kind of the similar naming convention there. But now that's an Anheuser-Busch brand.
Goose Island,
yeah. In Chicago, they started there. I don't know why I'm going to plug another book about that, but barrel-aged stouts and selling out is the whole entire Goose Island story about how
tough thing to do
they were bought out, and exactly. It's really interesting just to see that bigger picture of how it goes over and what happens when Anheuser-Busch does come into a brewery, to see that culture change, and gives a pretty good description there.
Yeah. So let me change this up a little bit. So what was the deal with Northern Brewer parting ways with ultimately AB InBev? As much as you can disclose without me getting fired.
Yeah, no, I would like to keep my job after tonight.
I want you to keep your job.
Unless I show up naked, at the end of this, and then I deserve it. But
I'll do that. I'll do that for you.
Yeah, thanks for taking that. Really it came down to, they thought that there was some huge growth opportunities to take homebrewing worldwide, spread the love, and then learned that it wasn't going to happen. They have a lot of international partners, so the thought was like we could quickly set up some relationships with them, find some distribution of Northern Brewer kits, make this thing grow, and it didn't take like they thought, and so the growth just wasn't there that they were looking for. Like I said, this investment arm, growth arm that is called CX Ventures, has some lofty goals with anything that they do, and including these craft breweries. Their goal is to quickly grow and make a lot more money from that. And it just didn't happen, so it just wasn't the right fit for us, or for them, for Northern Brewer. And they put us on the shopping market, and that's how it happened. Now we're held by a firm out of Maryland, and basically the nerds are back in charge in Roseville, Minnesota.
Todd, that was a very professional answer. I'd love to hear that answer when we're not live. But as far as homebrewing goes, you guys know, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think as far as homebrew stores and people getting into homebrew, the peak was probably around 2013 to 2015. Is that accurate to say?
It is accurate, yep.
That's the craft beer boom when everybody wanted to open up a brewery, or was opening up a brewery. And is that when the acquisition happened?
It was a couple years after that. It was 2016 when they came on board, and then 2019 when they left.
Interesting.
Circuit's calling it right.
Yeah, I mean,
but go ahead.
I've just never seen you guys are the internet, Amazon, Midwest Supplies, Northern Brewer. It's impossible to compete with the internet. I've never seen a local homebrew store, mom and pop, expand or have a second room or knock down the suite to the left or the right and expand. I got into homebrewing probably at that time. And for whatever reason, I don't know why everybody got into homebrewing around 2014, 2015. I think it's because my friends were opening up breweries and I was so damn jealous. That's probably exactly why. That's probably exactly why.
Sure.
I get like, hey, no one's of our group of friends is brewing beer without me. Like, you can't know how to do beer,
Sure.
and you can't know this and I can't. So I got into it.
Yeah.
Warren Gavin.
Yeah, the big thing is
Big shout out to Warren Gavin really fast. We got a super chat.
yeah.
CH, thanks for all
big
you
money.
do, man. Thanks for all you do, Warren Gavin. And for those who are caught up, this is Todd Jackson, or not caught up. This is Todd Jackson from Northern Brewer. But I've never seen a mom and pop grow.
Yeah. It really comes down to retail as a whole is a challenging space to be in right now. So that is a challenge for a brick and mortar mom and pop shop. It's a challenge for our retail locations. Really what happened for both Midwest Supplies and Northern Brewer was the founders made great moves. They jumped all over mail order catalogs. If you're really lucky, you can find one of those out in the wild still with a mail-in order form still, everything there.
Yeah.
And then they jumped all over the internet and shipping orders. And so, that was kind of great moves at the right times. And I don't know if someone can come in and do that again without that kind of backbone and the foundation of the retail locations and the community around homebrewing, and then taking that to the next steps.
So we're talking about Midwest Supplies. We're talking about how you guys are ultimately different brands, same ownership. Is it safe to say, and we're talking about the internet and the mom and pops kind of being a thing of the past, is Amazon now your biggest competitor? Because I've seen Amazon get better and better and better with ultimately just having more homebrew stuff, recipes included,
Yep.
on the prime stuff. Because a couple of years ago, they'd have stuff here and there, but not everything was prime. You'd have to wait maybe a week, or it just some shit came from China, and then it's 2 or 3 weeks. But as Amazon's ultimately Amazon, they're taking over the world, every industry. And
Right.
is that your biggest competitor now as far as online sales?
Yeah, I would definitely put it as Amazon. We sell on Amazon. We ship fulfilled by Amazon as well. Mostly because you have to right now, and it's a channel that people are going to shop at, so you have to go for it. They do recognize, just like across all of their categories, they know when something's doing well and when they should go and search for that.
Sure.
And procure the same items. So carboys are a great example. I know you hate the glass, but Amazon loved it. People were buying them, and all of a sudden we couldn't compete with their prices on that.
Here's the thing about the glass. I do hate glass, but here's the thing. My biggest thing with glass, it's not for beginners. You don't want to give, what happens with glass is that people are going to start brewing. And what do you do when you first start brewing? You have parties, you have glass. I think glass is for an advanced person that wants to age wine or age barley wine or brag it or put something down. But I just wouldn't give it to a beginner brewer. And I just think there's nothing wrong with plastic. There's nothing wrong.
No, especially with this, a 2-week turn on a fermentation or less now with the Kavaiki that's out there. I'm the same way, unless something's going to be aged, and I don't brew as much as I want to. But when I do, I'm going to put a barley wine in glass and let it sit because I'm too cheap to buy
or something.
Conicals.
Sure.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but you just said it perfectly, and it's glass. It's self-explanatory. I don't know if you have a bad story, Todd. Personally, I don't, but I have a lot of friends who do, and there's a really bad Ballast Point story where a guy actually almost died from their homebrew shop, and it's glass. It's you work construction, you deal with sharp metal. You shoot a gun, it's a gun. Right. You just got to know what you're kind of getting into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's plenty of bad stories out there. I'm fortunate to not have one.
Good.
I've only broke one carboy in my life in my earlier days, and I'm in Minnesota, and for some stupid reason, when I was in the height of it, I thought that I took pride in brewing on the coldest day of the year in our garage, and so I used a carboy to some hot water when my chiller didn't it actually froze solid, and so it just pumped in some
Damn.
hot wort straight in that frozen carboy, and it didn't hold up.
And you know what? Right? You don't even have to break the glass. Sometimes I think doing the most. You brought him up earlier. Doing the most. Sometimes the glass just pops out from the bottom. Like it's kind of not a clean break, but a cleanish break. Sometimes the glass just gives. It just can't support the weights. And you don't need to bang it. You don't need to hit the corner of your kitchen. You don't need to just drop it a little bit. Like sometimes it just breaks from the bottom. And I don't know. And at the end of the day, if you guys like glass, use glass. And we take a lot of heat. And there's comments I get on YouTube, any YouTube channel. I mean, if you get a comment on YouTube, you get a comment on YouTube. It doesn't matter if it's your newest video or your video from 3-4 years ago. But people are like, oh, I don't use stainless steel because my beers taste metallic. And I don't use plastic because my beers taste plastic. I'm like, no, they don't. And if you put it in your head, it is. Like if we start thinking like, hey, this beer kind of tastes like tomato, and you say it enough times, it's going to. If you want to taste it, if you want to think that it tastes plasticky, you're going to taste plasticky. For dinner with Shy Guy. Damn, Bodine's Brews, man. Big. Ooh. Okay, Bodine's Brews just hit us with a 50 spot. That means an NBC. Todd, we're doing an NBC. This one's for Bodine's Brews. All right. I'm gonna go get a beer. For dinner with the Shy Guy. Big shout out to that's a shout out to John Goman. Check out John Goman on YouTube. He's a hell of a skateboarder. He's one of my good friends. Let me go fill up a beer. Todd, you want to go first or second?
Either way.
Oh, you got one right there. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock. Okay. Tonight I'm drinking little Minneapolis brewery. Just a nice, easy golden lager. Chill City Sugar, 4%. It's great. I knew that you guys would be bringing some MVCs along, and Steve actually told me, the Apartment Brewer said, stick to the low ABV so you don't get all jacked up. Thanks, Steve. Other thing, I know Yeast and the Beast did a little shout out, said that I should check out Just Brewing. If anybody else has any videos, channels that they're following, throw them in the chat, and I'll be happy to take a look and reach out to some folks. Like I said, if you see somebody who's doing it right on the video side for homebrewing, spreading the word, let me know. Steve, we've got Trent and the Brew Show. We've been talking to them, trying to figure out how we can assist. So some good stuff coming up with them.
Tom, we're living good tonight, Rush. We're going to live good tonight, man. I want to give a quick little shout out to Apartment Steve, who sent me one of the best brown ales I've ever had. And Steve came on, Apartment Steve. He's got a good channel. He's got a great channel, very informative. He sent me Flapjack Maple Double Brown Ale. I cracked this last night after drinking just 2 glasses of wine, and this was absolutely delicious. It was perfect. Flapjack Hennecker Brewing. Does that ring a bell?
Are they out east with Steve?
They got to be. And we talk a lot about ABV, and if it's more popular on the East, high ABV being more popular on the East Coast versus the West Coast. And I think it is. It's a 7% brown. 105 people watching right now. This one's for Bodine's Brews. This one is from Warren Gavin. This one is for The Village Idiot. This one is for Elementary Brewing, Short Circuited, and Brandon Chamberlain, man. And everybody here, everybody that watches Homebrew for Life, man. Brian just sent me something. We did it. I'm going to take a picture of this.
It's work.
I'm going to put this on Instagram.
It's probably my mom.
What?
One of the 105.
Good.
She likes to watch what I'm doing.
Let's get more moms in here. Big shout out to Steve for that. I got to ship him some beers, and looking forward to it. All right, here we go. Todd, what are you drinking, Brush? I'm gonna throw
just saying. I got a Chill City Chugger from Fulton Brewing out of Minneapolis, little 4% golden lager, because Steve was responsible, told me I shouldn't drink the high ABV stuff too early in the show.
Apartment Brewer?
You know it.
You do know him. All right, man. Big shout out to everybody here. We made it 100, 20%, 20 ounce NBC. This is like 5.2%. I got to be mentally prepared for this. Give me a sec. I'm going to blow it. I'm going to throw up, shit my pants at the same time. I think I got to sit up for this. All right. 100 people, 106 watching. All right. Big shout out to Todd. Let's do it, man. Pick him up full, put him down empty. We're good. Ship shape. Oh, I'm gonna hit the button.
I know what we have to do.
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What?
Just say it! M. Say it. B. No. Say when.
C.
We would be supporting them 100% if they just weren't another homebrew supplier. So that just made it a little bit more complicated, but their videos are top of the line.
They have the best production of any homebrew channel. I'm not saying they're my favorite. I like channels for different reasons, but as far as production goes, Clawhammer is the best channel. But do you guys kind of see each other as kind of competitors?
No, not really. You know, they're in that electric space, doing kind of more on just the equipment. You know, yeah, we sell that same stuff, but they're definitely going to go and be something for the higher end home brewer or the more advanced home brewer. Jeez. You know, so they're doing that. They're not selling recipe kits at this time. That's something that, you know, we've talked about, like if we could work together for that. But, you know, it's overall in homebrew, like, yeah, there's competitors, but as far as the shops go, I think everyone's pretty civil, and we have some pretty good conversations. And I know the guys at More Beer, talk to those guys whenever we see them. Homebrew Con, it's always a good time when we get all the homebrew shop folks together, drinking, pounding beers, staying up too late.
Yep. I haven't been, man. I haven't been, but I'll be there next time. As soon as this whole COVID thing kind of clears up. Big shout out. We got a couple more. It's Just Paul for the 100 people watching tonight. Big shout out to It's Just Paul. Super chat $10. We got 108 people still here. Drew G. $10. Cheers from Canada. Homebrewing since 1984. CH, you're the man. I am not the man, but thanks for the shout out, man, and the super chat. I'm going to put this on Instagram right now. Typically, I don't like really do too much Instagram because I think it's more friends and family than it is actual homebrewers that follow me. And I don't know. I like the streaming and the YouTube, but I don't know.
Would you want to do a TikTok too, or what? We can work on some dances.
We could do it right now, man. I just know the Vanilla Ice one from the Turtles movie. But other than that,
yeah, I probably know as much about TikTok as I do Discord, but
I like TikTok.
I mean, I don't mind it. I just don't know how to do it.
I'm gonna give Brian. Thank you for that, man. Brian is watching this on his phone right now. Thank you, Short Circuited Brian. All right. Let's go to, I need to post from, I went back to flip phone, so I have to post from my computer. Let me see if I can figure this out. So we're going to tag you as Northern Brewer, and let's go to, see if we can get a couple more people in here. Do you do Instagram, Todd?
Not very much. I do more time for work on social media than I do regularly.
Right.
I'm a Facebook guy, but I got kicked out of Facebook a couple of weeks ago.
For what?
I haven't put. No, not the bad kind of kicked out. Somebody tried hacking in, and so I shut them down. But then, new thing on Facebook, I guess, is they when a hacker gets that short amount of access, they set up a code generator. And so I don't have access to the codes that are being created. And Facebook doesn't make it easy to connect with anybody. So kind of took a little break from there.
Fair enough. Duly noted.
Yeah.
All right. I think I just plugged us on Instagram.
Sweet.
Yeah. Short
I
circuit
did
and
become
barrage.
TikTok famous this week, though.
What'd you
so
do?
know.
Some Janet Jackson dance?
No, there's a gentleman who is doing a homestead named Nate Petrowski.
Okay.
He's got like 1.3 million followers on TikTok, and he's setting up his land in West Virginia. And I noticed he wasn't homebrewing yet, so I reached out to him, gave him the same kit that you've got, and so
Great
he's
kit.
gonna start making. Yeah, he's gonna start doing some of that. I don't know, kind of cool.
Hey, really quick, what were the beers that you sent me and Maury, the farmhouse smoked beers? Because those are really good, and you said those were your favorite. And I have that letter pinned up on our wall from you guys at Northern
Sweet.
Brewer. It's got your John Hancock on it right here. Check it
Yeah,
out.
I signed it and everything.
Yes, you did.
Sweet. Yeah, so that's just a brewery in town here that they concentrate on Nordic smoked beers. I've got some of them back here, but Hammerheart.
Hammerheart. Oh, you got a couple on you right now?
Hammerheart. Yeah, they're always around. It's not something that I can drink every day. They do. They smoke almost everything, and they've just got some changes of how they're operating in place now. But
Rosemont
you
knows
said you
what's
were
up.
doing Yeah. When you said that you were doing the smoked beers, it just seemed like the logical choice was to send you something from Minnesota from some guys who do it pretty well. It's a little bit too much smoke for me to sit and drink it every day, but to throw one in the mix now and then, pretty awesome.
I know. I was at Culver today. It's one of my local watering holes. The owner comes on the show, and just really good guys, really cool local brewery. And we're talking about maybe scaling this batch of beer down. What's it, a Rosh beer? I'm making a Rosh beer. And
Yeah.
I love smoked everything. I love smoked cheese, fish, meat, anything you got. I'll smoky by the fire. I'll breathe it all in. I'll wake up feeling sick. But it's just got kind of I love smoked beers in small doses. It's just got kind of a weird vibe. Drinking smoke, it's just different. But I'm going to do the 5-gallon batch. And if I burn out on it, then I'll just give it away.
Wow.
Ashtray beers.
Share it up.
Yeah, Bodie and someone sent some Hammerheart out here to Cali. Can you get it in Cali?
No, I don't think they're going that far yet, but they are working on some distribution that gets pretty big. So,
Is that their
I
main
don't know
beer?
exactly. Not the one that I sent. That was a specialty one. But basically, they're shut down their tap room locally, and they're moving to northern Minnesota to do a little farm brewery. But then they're also contracting a couple of their main flagships, and so that's where they're looking to expand that distribution.
Duly noted. And I'm also duly noting that Apartment Brewer just sent us $10. How do you like the night shift? Big shout out to Apartment Steve. He'll be on next Thursday. I'm going to get a Pikachu onesie for our Halloween episode, live stream episode. I don't know, show episode. Is that cringe? Smoked and barrel aged.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it. We're doing it tomorrow. The apple smoked malt, and I'm looking forward to it. We're going to do the 5-gallon batch. I'm going to shoot for about 6%. And that's it. We're just going to do a 5-gallon batch of smoked beer. And I think it's going to be an easy beer to do because it's pretty much just all in the malt. You know, if you have a good mash, I think you're good to go. It's not like a kettle sour or dealing with pH or anything like that. And we'll see. We're going to do it, though.
Yeah. It's all about, finding that balance so it's not the ashtray beer or like licking the side of a smoke shack.
Yeah.
And just making it there. But I've had plenty of really good smoked beers that are like licking the side of a smoke shack, but, I only want 3 or 4 ounces of it out of 12.
Right. And that's why I don't think commercial breweries do it that often, because it's rad in small doses. But I mean, what's the average brewery size? Probably average microbrewery size, probably 7 barrel, 7, 5, 7, 10 barrel.
7.
That's a lot of smoked beer. That's a lot of smoked beer. Hey, big shout out to Chris Vodka in the house tonight. He does the graphic design stuff for a lot of our stuff. Him and Jules Game Art and Clawhammer actually wanted to know who does my stuff, and they're reaching out to Chris, and he's got really good stuff. If anybody needs some graphics, check out Chris Vodka and or Jules Game Art, who I don't think I've seen in the chat yet.
Wow.
Hey, Brian, did you dig Montreal smoked meat? Man Borders opening up soon. I got to get up to Canada. If there's one place to go in Canada, where do you go? Todd or the chat?
Wow. Last time I had an opportunity, I went to Vancouver. Loved it, but that was really my only time other than fishing up in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, is that pretty touristy, or is it more, I mean, when I mean touristy, I'm talking like the better restaurants, the better breweries, or is it more kind of backcountry?
No, it definitely was, not backcountry. Plenty of nice breweries that we found, good breweries, good restaurants to hit. Also close enough to getting out of town where, like get up to Whistler, and on the way there's plenty of little roadside backcountry spots that you can hit up for not necessarily beer.
Yeah.
Whistler's in Colorado. It was where the Olympics were held a couple years ago. I can't remember, but
I got to get up there.
Yeah,
I know that I got a buddy who lives up there, and they're pretty adamant about the COVID stuff and letting people in. So maybe I'll wait a little bit, but I want to go to Canada. I want to go everywhere. I want to go to
I know, travel.
I want to go to Genus Brewing. I want to show up there unannounced. I want to go to Clawhammer. I want to show up there unannounced and shoot a video. Spokane. I think. And
then you said you're going to come up to Minneapolis too. Maybe we'll find a collaboration. If we get you up this way.
Yeah, I would love to come out. What's the venue for the next Homebrew Con?
I don't even know yet. Somebody.
Is it
Brian,
typically in Colorado?
No, they've done Colorado. When it was last year, 2020, it was supposed to be PA in Pennsylvania. So we can all head east.
My mom was a flight attendant for U.S. Airways, Westchester. I know Philly. A little bit different vibe than San Diego, but it's cool. Not really, but it's cool, different. But
I think they'll do it well. There's some good stuff out east. I'll crash on Steve's couch.
Yeah. No, that'd be cool. And if that happens, I'll get an Airbnb and we'll make it happen. We can figure something out. We can get a big Airbnb and get all the brew tubers together and have a great time. That would be awesome.
Definitely. I think it was Christopher who said he always hits our Grand Avenue store whenever he's in town. So thanks for stopping by there. Those
cool.
And somebody was talking about a mango Blue Moon. I'm not sure if I've ever had a.
Sounds disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody should tell us more about that.
Todd can't say stuff like that. I'm allowed to. I don't work for. I don't have a real job for a real company.
Yeah, well, see, maybe back in the day I couldn't diss Blue Moon, but no, I'm okay. I don't put many Blue Moons in my belly, that's for sure. But,
no, me, Brian, and Larry had a pretty good conversation about it the other night. I'm sorry, really quick. Gator Rails, we got a super chat from him. Yo, it's Gator from Australia. Big shout out from San Diego. Todd's out there in Minneapolis.
What's up?
Seems our craft beer industry runs about 6 months behind on new hip styles. An example, New England IPA. What do you think the next big craze style will be? I think the next big craze style will be just lower alcohol by volume content. Doesn't matter if it's. You remember when Corona came out with Corona Light, Todd?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, does Corona really need a light beer? Do we really need a light beer for Heineken? I think they're going to start doing that for hard seltzers and stuff, you know, like Michelob Light. That wasn't good enough. Now let's do Michelob Ultra. Now it's going to be White Claw Session Ultra something, some crazy thing. Or I think it's just going to go down to 3%. And I don't know if that's a West Coast thing. Again, talking to the apartment brewer, Steve, who just sent me beers. The one I'm drinking right now is actually a 4.5% beer. It's great too. Steve, great job picking out some of these beers. It's a Whirlpool New England Pale Ale from Night Shift Brewing. And I love that graphic. It's an owl in the shape of a hop, or vice versa. It's called Seltzer Water. Tom Alvarado in the house. Yeah, I just think it's going to be, I think it's just going to be low alcohol. And that could be anything. That could be Four Loko. That could be espresso. That could be coffee. I think people are just going to kind of get lower and lower and just kind of hover around that 3 or 4% range. I truly think that's just the next trend in alcohol. What about you, Todd?
Well, you know, it's you know, you think about it, it's not even really a trend again, right? Like back in the days when table beers were all the rage because people were paying by taxes. And, you know, the truth is I love beer and I love to drink beer all day, but I can't do it with a 7%er. Or, I mean, I could, but, you know, I'm going to do something crazy by the fire. Or
I think we're related.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
You know, but, I mean, the beer that I'm drinking tonight's 4%. It just makes things a little bit easier. You know, I could see that with the seltzers side of things, too, is just, like, get down to that 3% and let people sip on a boozy kind of drink all day long. Or, you know, I think that's definitely a trend that we're seeing here. Crispy boys, right? The lagers that are just...
Lawnmower beers.
Yeah, lawnmower beers.
Lawnmower beers. Crispies.
Crispies. No, I think that's definitely the route that things are going. It'll be interesting to see. One of the beers in my fridge that I set aside for today is just a juicy pale ale. You know, it's like there too, just that 5% where it's like I don't need it to be an IPA. Give me some flavor and it can work.
I couldn't agree with you anymore, man. And Bodine's Brews White Claw Session Seltzer. White Claw Ultralight Session Diet Seltzer Session Seltzer. I mean, it's just going to get to a point where it's not even about the ingredients. Everything's just going to be about marketing tools, what words trigger low calorie, anti-weight session seltzer. And Jorge Castro in the house, man. Yeah, I just I don't know, but I'm with you, you know, and I am going to make a video. I'm going to make a video because I haven't made a real West Coast IPA in probably 3 years, as bad as that sounds. But I'm going to go back and do it. And because that's why we all got into craft beer. It was like the 6.5, 7% West Coast IPA, and I don't have one on my channel. I have a Sculpin video from years ago. I've got some hazies and stuff like that. But all the grain and glass videos on Homebrew for Life are like just these whack, niche, experimental beers. But I'm going to go back and really hone in the best beer that I can do, the best West Coast IPA that I can make. And I'm going to do my best to have this beer taste like the commercial stuff. It's going to be pressure transferring. It's going to be dry hopping in primary or secondary or serving tank with no oxygen. And I'm going to do it. And Today I'm thinking about what should the ABV be, because I think that's the biggest thing in beer. That's the biggest trend. And I'm going to do it at 6.3%.
Nice. Yeah, it's, you know, not over the top, just, you know, going back to the roots. And, I mean, you think about it, it's been 3 years and all the stuff that you've learned during that time, you know, just looking at your videos and how you've progressed and changed.
Thanks, man.
It'll be interesting to see how good you can get that beer to turn out.
Yeah, and it's different, I think, for homebrewers, because if you're, hey, I'm gonna give up a Saturday and I'm gonna make only 5-gallon batches of beer, let's add a little booze to it. Like I am also gonna make healthy beer. I'm gonna make this 4% beet carrot video with what's it called? Turmeric and stuff like that, and ginger. Like I'm gonna make that beer. It's called healthy beer. Health beer. Yeah.
Beer.
But I don't really make the beers like when I first got into homebrewing. It was all about Amarillo and Nelson hops and trying to replicate the Duet, Alpine's Duet, and Nelson, and I guess Sculpin. Sculpin was obviously like the biggest fish, but once you kind of get past that or get burned out on that, it's like, hey, like, how do we get the Society Pupil recipe? What's the closest thing to that? Who's got the best forum? And I need to make that video. And I'm going to try to do it the Homebrew for Life way, where it's like 7-day IPA or 5-day IPA.
Yep.
And anybody who's watching, be on the lookout for that. Because I'm going to stop making these experimental beers and just go back and really hone in recipes, because I don't do it anymore. Healthy beer.
Yeah.
Sounds like a t-shirt.
Wow.
It does. Healthy beer.
Healthy beer with a carrot underneath it.
Definitely. I lost my train. I don't know where I was going. Something about the beers.
You sure those beers are 4%, man?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm kidding. Tasty 21st Amendment. Lorenzo Ramirez. Where is everybody tonight? What city are you in the chat? Tom Alvarado, man. What's going on, Braj? In Germany, they look at beer as health food. I look at beer as health food. There's a lot of good things in beer. Beer has a bad rap. Beer has a very bad rap in America, but there's a lot of good stuff in beer. It's bread soup.
Definitely.
Hudson, Wisconsin.
I know where I was going to say. I remember. See, I was going to say, there's actually on the lines of that experimental brewing and
Palm
getting all
Coast.
crazy. There's a lot of people that actually only brew 2 or 3 times a year. And if you're doing that, I understand why you would want to get crazy and try different things. But when you're brewing, often it's probably almost everybody on this chat and on this stream tonight. Like, yeah, you might as well hone those recipes in.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, we everyone's letting us know where they're at right now. It's pretty awesome, man. We got Colorado Springs in the house, Philadelphia. I didn't talk too much shit about that. I love Philadelphia. It was just kind of a culture shock coming out there as a 14, 15-year-old kid. But I'm definitely going to be at Homebrew Con in Philadelphia next year. East Coast, North Carolina in the house, Tucson, Arizona, Fontana, Davenport, IA. What's IA? Indiana? Iowa. Okay, that one, the other one.
Right in it.
Bodine's Brews, Turlock, California, Armpit of California, Trans Am guy, another Philly guy in the house, Akron, Ohio. Nobody's from California except Bodine's Brews. Clayton Gerard, he's another barrage out there in Canada. Come on down. Miami, Florida, what's up, Fab? How's it going, barrage? Welcome here. We got a subscriber, DTR5591, just subscribed. Much love, barrage. How you doing over there on time, Todd? Is that chill?
Yeah, I'm totally fine. As long as you'll have me, people want to talk.
Who's
We can do that.
who are your bosses watching right now? Is there
I don't think so.
Did you promote this, or you want nobody at Northern Pine to know about this?
No, I told everybody.
Cool.
I talked to my boss, so I report to the president of the company, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going on. Anything you don't want me to talk about?" And he was like, just don't be an ass. So.
Do they know my vibe? Do they know I'm trying to like kind of get a little grit going and shit like that?
Oh yeah, but that's where it comes down to. I said before, the nerd's in charge again. It's like, it is.
I like that.
If I do something stupid, it's basically just gonna be ridicule and a whole bunch of shit tomorrow.
How many guys are above you at Northern Brewer?
Inside the walls, there's one. So,
Todd Jackson, man, the right hand right here, dude. My man, I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we still got 100 people here. This is awesome. For those who are new to the stream, we've been doing this for about an hour right now. And Todd, does it feel like an hour?
I don't think so.
Feels fast. Goes by
feels like-
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Feels
goes
like
by-
I'm on my 3rd beer, and that's about it.
Right on. Todd's the guy
I'd be
that.
doing that.
What was that?
I'd be doing that even if it wasn't on here. So.
Yeah, I'd be probably even drinking more, playing the new Metroid on Nintendo Switch. Todd's the barrage. He's the guy that the YouTubers work with, and we have a great relationship. And Todd, I want to let you know that You and Anvil are the best brands we've ever worked with, because
Awesome.
we've had some guys that have sucked, and they'll want to kind of tell us what to do and then ultimately kind of try to sell us some stuff or give us something half off. And you guys have never done that. You guys obviously expect a shout out, but it's not like some brands have been like, hey, here's 10 bullet points. It's got to be 30 seconds. You guys have never sent us any of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. And it's just a good collab. It's just a good cross-platform relationship.
Working out quite well.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
and with Anvil too. I mean, I don't know if you know Matt Sloan over at Anvil. We're not really the Blickman crowd. Anvil's their sister company, kind of the blue
Brian.
collar. Brian's out of here.
Brian.
Later, Brian. Have a good night, Brosh. And they've been great. Like, hey, we need this. We want to shoot this video, and they send it to us, no questions asked. For the full disclaimer with Northern Brewer and Anvil, there's no money involved, and I think that makes our relationship better. Like, hey, we need this, and then you send it, but it's like, hey, maybe we get a quick shout out, and that's it, and it works great, because if there's money involved, it gets weirder. People are going to want those bullet points, and they're going to try to turn us into lawyers, doctors, or salesmen talking about it's made in America, FDA approved it. And it's like, our crowd doesn't want to hear all that shit. We're talking about coconut extract. They don't want to hear it's made in America and it's extract. So I really appreciate our relationship. And I'm just stoked that you're here right now as well, man.
Just get serious. It just got serious, didn't it?
Yeah, we're going to play Spin the
Football
Bottle.
official.
Yeah, with Kurt Pick and
Cool.
Minnesota Fats.
Yeah.
No, but this is rad,
Brian,
and I hope that it continues to progress. And something tells me we're going to be drinking beers in
Definitely.
in eye to eye at Philadelphia Homebrew Con sooner than later, man.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's everything's working out great for us. When we first had our conversation, I remember we just kind of said,
Yeah, who was the other guy that was in there? Was that the president?
so that was the president of the company, Justin. Yeah, and so he and I were reaching out to people, but really it came down to before even ABI came on board, and as the slope of homebrewing started to go down a little bit, money was starting to become a thing, and homebrew shops had to be worried about. So we realized that we couldn't necessarily afford all the content that we were creating. Unfortunately, that's where the change happened with Brewing TV. Mm-hmm. Things changed out that way. We still have the great, it lives on forever on the internet, but weren't part of that and people doing new content and creating stuff. So we said, hey, why go back into that when these guys like CH and Homebrew for Life and the Brew Show and Steve and Short Circuited, they're all doing these things. It's like, let's just help them make beer. One thing we know everybody needs was ingredients, so it was kind of an easy conversation to have.
No, it's great, man. And I'm super stoked. You just mentioned the Brew Show. I didn't know that they were on your radar. I don't know how you guys, if it's a subscriber thing or like you enjoy their content or you're just trying to hit up everybody.
I kind of just poke around, and it really depends on when I have enough time to cruise around YouTube and find people that are doing things, watching everybody's videos. I see other channels that become involved, and try to also find people that aren't in this circle necessarily, and who else is out there, what they're talking about. There's, we get into mead makers, there's a different group of people like doing the most, a couple other ones that are just more focused on mead or small batch wine, but we have the stuff to help them too. So it's just a lot of that, and like I said, just kind of try to reach out to people as the days go by, and if I have a little bit of time to watch some videos and check out what they're actually doing, then we jump all over it.
And if they're, making consistent content, and I'd imagine it carries a little bit of weight. If you're putting out a video once every quarter or something like that, it might not.
Right.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It might not work. Yep. And just kind of who the audience is for each channel and what they're trying to do. Homebrewing as a whole is suffers from a lack of diversity. So we also want to find ways, and that's just that piece of everybody getting into it and spreading the word of how fun it can be. And so, not that we're looking for diversity in who we're working with by any means, nice, but like just people that are welcoming to the hobby, so that anybody who's watching the videos can get into it and feel comfortable there too.
I like it, man. Good choice of words. Really quick, we got a super chat from Bodine's Brews again. Bodine's Brews, man. He is gonna buy me short rib dinner tonight. $10 for the Todd. Big shout out to for the Todd. Todd's here.
Y'all got Todd.
You got a question from the Apartment Brewer. Todd, are you guys looking into carrying canning products?
We've talked about it. We've looked at a few different canning products. There's a few out on the market. One thing that we just struggle with is the idea of the cans themselves. As a shipping company,
Right.
shipping
You can't control
lightweight
that.
aluminum. Yeah, it's just a really weird thing to ship. So we haven't pushed too hard, but the way of the homebrewing world, I think, is
I never even thought about that.
People are loving cans, and I think we'll continue to do some testing as well for dissolved oxygen. It's a little bit harder to keep that out of your cans just due to that wide surface space, but it's something we're always watching too.
I like it. I like it a lot. Todd, you mind holding it down by yourself while I go drink?
No, that's all right.
Fill the beer too. All right, don't get nervous. Everybody be chill with Todd. I'll be right back. Godspeed.
So yeast, I did get to meet Will Wheaton. He actually came as our guest to the San Diego Homebrew Con. So we got Will pretty drunk that day at club night, and had a lot of fun. Actually, I think it was pro night, but he had plenty of beers, and we had a good time. Decent dude. And I saw somebody else talked about, do I still homebrew? I don't homebrew as much as I would like to anymore. Definitely had a peak pre-kid, pre-new house, increased responsibilities at Northern Brewer. So I'm doing this type of fun stuff instead of necessarily making beer. The next thing on my brewing list is probably going to be complete horseshit. I'm going to try to use a can of pre-hopped wheat malt extract, and then add some strawberry lemonade flavor, because I'm kind of a sucker for a natter day during the summer on the lake, or during the winter, or wherever else.
What I miss? Who needs to die?
Oh, I'm talking about
Trev, who?
I'm hoping to make some natter day.
Wait, what's going on? Catch me up.
Somebody had asked earlier if I still brew. I don't do a whole lot of brewing right now. I've got some wine going. I've got a mash and boil, so I still can use that and make some beer. But the next thing I'm going to do, I picked up a can of pre-hopped can of crappy extract, and it's a wheat beer. I'm going to put that together with a little bit of DME, and then I'm going to use some strawberry lemonade crystallized powder and see if I can make the natter days. If you haven't had a natter day from, I think, Natural Light. It's it's a big macro brand, but the natter day is a strawberry lemonade, little delicious treat that has a special place in my heart.
Good question. Good answer. Very good questions coming up right here. I want to know the bottom one first. Really fast. Can anyone go to Homebrew Con?
The answer is you have to be a member of the
AHA?
Homebrewers Association. Yep, exactly. And once you're signed up for
I'm
that,
not.
I mean, technically you can sign up the day before. So,
Okay. Easy fix.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's usually pretty quick. Although members sales usually go on a little bit earlier, but just keep an eye on that, and then you can find your way in.
It's like $100. You get 10% off homebrew stores that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah.
Some breweries actually do have
Con.
member discounts. So one local joint here, you get a little bit of a discount for some beers and such. So it doesn't make a huge difference, but it can happen.
Absolutely. You got a question from Trans Am Guy. Todd, do you have any plans to do some videos with Chip? Chip is Hops and Gnarly. Chip?
Nope. Chip is Chop and Brew.
Chop and Brew. My bad. I was supposed to say
used
Chip.
to be on Brewing TV. Yep.
Right.
I probably won't be in a video with Chip. I've tried being on videos a number of times, and generally when the camera turns on,
what happens?
You would think, but it, it's like I don't know, the red light hits, and all of a sudden I'm a blubbering idiot. I don't know what I'm doing.
Deer in the headlights.
So yeah, I've just got that against me. But Chip does our videos currently for Northern Brewer again. So he had left, and then he came back. And now he's helping us out. We've got Northern Brewer University where we're doing some specialty classes. And then he just gets to do some of our fun stuff as well. So you'll definitely hear his voice if you don't see him on the camera in a number of our videos. Yeah.
Duly noted. So who are you talking about, that channel that's got 75,000 subscribers? That's the big one, right?
That's the Northern Brewer one that's just kind of existed for a long time. We don't put a lot of content out there. It's a little bit of that issue where we're just not generating on a weekly basis or anything. Not able to kind of support that, but we do a nice job and people do sign up for that. But then, we've also got this new piece straight to our website that's a specialty course program that people can sign up for and get through the videos. There's little quizzes and such that they can learn. So it's something that we'll be trying to get out in front of all the new homebrewers this holiday season as well, so they can quickly get after it.
Absolutely. And if you guys ever want to host for that, let me know. I'd love to host with Chip.
Oh, awesome.
Come out there with Maury. Maury doesn't even watch Homebrew for Life. He's not going to watch the video we're going to make. But that's the best part, because Maury does not watch Homebrew for Life. I'll put him in the thumbnail. I won't even be in the video, and I'll send it to him, and he won't respond. And then 4 days later, I'll see him in person. I'm like, "Did you watch the new video?" He's like, "No, I haven't gotten around to do it yet." I'm like, "Dude, you post 10 Instagram stories a day. You're staring at your phone all day." But I think that actually makes it cool, and I like that more. I'm like, dude, we just made this video. I just spent 30 hours editing it, trying to make us look way cooler than we are in real life. Check it out. He's just like, "No, I'm not." Like, all right, man. That's how that works.
Right. Well, and
Maury shreds.
He works at a commercial brewery too, right?
Who?
Right?
Yeah, he works at South O Brewing, and Trevor's the owner of that brewery in there. We were actually there today, me and another industry buddy, the guy I was telling you that we've got his skateboard decks up in the garage. We were hanging out there today, and can't wait for this brewery to open. It's called South O Brewery in South Oceanside, and I wish them good mojo.
Definitely.
Yeah, and anything I could do with the channel. I know that people watch Homebrew for Life aren't always in San Diego. They're all over. It's just English-speaking people and Hell Brews down in Mexico. But I'm gonna try to drive as much shine as we can to their opening day and stuff like that. And I can't wait. Tom will be down there.
Sounds like I better go too.
You better come out. If you come out, you can stay at my house. You can stay at my house. Depending where I'm at with Homebrew for Life, there might be a little disposable income, but I could maybe do I don't think there's actually Airbnbs in Carlsbad, but you can stay at my house. But I could put up maybe 4 or 5 people for South O Brewing's opening day or soft opening.
Wow.
It sounds like a pretty fun party.
You're staying at my house. You're sleeping in my bed with me, man, head to toe.
Yeah,
There's going to be a couple chicks in that bed too. Bodine's Brews. When is South O's opening day? Only Trev who's in the chat right now, can answer that. And I'm going to guess it's mid-December. When you think it's your opening day, it's not. It's always going to be like a month after or a couple weeks after.
Back off, War Child. Seriously.
Hunter Henderson's going to come out.
Never fails.
What's up?
That never fails.
Yeah.
With a brewery opening up.
Yeah. Start of December, Trevfu. That's the owner. He's in the Homebrew for Life videos. He's the barrage out there from the land down under. Hunter Henderson might take a road trip out there from Vegas purely to hit that. That is rad, Hunter Henderson. If you do that, I will pay for all of your beers that day. Bodine's Brews, same goes for you, man. Damn it, Trevor, you better let us know. I will come down from Central Cali. Oceanside's the shit. Oceanside's awesome. Oceanside, like where I live is Carlsbad Village. I don't know if you guys want to pull it up on a Google Maps right there. But Oceanside is kind of broken up into two cities. It's Oceanside and then South O. I'm very close to South O in Carlsbad Village. And from bird's eye view, I'm probably 4 miles from Trevor's Brewery. Tops, maybe. It's rad. Jerry Chavez, I'm there.
Nice and close.
Wave Sonics. CH is buying all the beers. Yeah, I'm just going to steal your credit card first, Wave Sonics. Easy fix. Trev, who? I would be there if I wasn't. I would not be here if it wasn't for the homebrew community. You guys all rock. Big shout out to Trevor for opening up his brewery and being here. And it's beer.
Good to have friends. Yeah.
We're all here for this. We are all here for this. Apartment Brewer, hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Todd, I don't know how much you watch our videos, but Trev's been in pretty much the last, I don't know. What did we do, Trev? We did how to turn a sinky keg into a corny keg. That was a good video. That was a great hack. He's the barrage in there. John LaQuise.
Nice. Okay.
Jonathan Elliott. He's here. NBC. We got another NBC. We still have 100 people here. This is crazy. Empire Wagon. I will be there from Long Beach, California. Big shout out to Empire Wagon, man. That'd be awesome. Sounds like the Jaws from Sharks gonna eat the shit out of us. I'd have to fill up another beer. But I don't have a problem with that. Todd, you cool with having another beer?
We'll do one more.
Eric Bone, one more. All right, man. Do you need to use the bathroom or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get more beer.
All right, I'll hold it down with the chat and do your thing. Get a beer, drain the main vein, and we're chilling. We'll get that NBC going. John LaQuise, what's up, man? Hunter Henderson, sounds like we're getting a subscriber meetup for this opening. That's exactly right, man. That is exactly right.
Wow.
Damn, man. Okay, we're coming up on an hour 30. This is the most love we've ever had. Really quick, tomorrow, Party Time Brews will be on. He's out there from Canada. I'm supposed to brew tomorrow. And next week, it's Ross and Apartment Steve. 26th and the 27th. Apartment Brewer, Thursday. Ross from Clawhammer Supply. Someone's going to die that night. Me or Ross. Let me know. Austin Maddox, live stream from South O. Trev, is that cool? I would love to do a live stream from a brewery. Party Time's still here, man. We got Party Time tomorrow night.
Wow.
Party Time's got a great channel. He's got a great channel. Yeah, Ross is coming on tomorrow. The long-haired Bam Margera. It's gonna be awesome. Jorge Castro, seriously thinking of flying in for Homebrew Con Barrage. That'd be rad, Jorge. That would be super awesome, man. I thought I was gonna come to you first, not the other way around. Darren Blackwood, what's going on, man? Sounds like I need to drive down from Lancaster. Where is Lancaster? I feel like there's a Lancaster in every state.
Wow. Back off, war child.
All right, Todd, I'm going to get a beer. I'll be right back.
I'm back.
You good?
All right. Yeah, we're set.
Ross from Friends. BRB, hold it down.
Oh. He's Todd. All right. Who's Ross, man? Ah, gotcha. So yeah, like I said about homebrewing, I am not doing it as much as I would like to be doing. 3 years ago, a good friend and I built a 30-gallon single-tier system, propane fired. A couple of batches on there, and then all of a sudden, life kind of jumped in the way and slowed us both down. So haven't made the big batches in a long time, but we are doing, like I said, the mash and boil, and a little bit that I get to play with at work. So some brewing, that's definitely happening. It's never too far away. Rosemont Homebrew Con is a bunch of different seminars for making, about making beer, different techniques. We had some pretty great speakers there. Also, it really comes down to it's a 3-day time warp where all you're doing is drinking beers, home brews, commercial beers, club night, where all of the homebrew clubs come together.
I'm going to create a poll.
Right on.
Check this out. All right, so we're going to go to, I want your answer on this too. Ask a question.
Yes, I have been to many homebrew cons, just answering somebody's question there.
IPAs, West Coast IPAs, over under 6.3%.
West Coast, I would
West Coast
vote,
IPAs, over under 6.3%.
seems tit for tat, but I would automatically guess, if I was going to do one, I would kind of target the 6.5 number. So, I mean, I think you're really close with what you got going on.
What was Sculpin? What is Stone? Eric Bone, under. Let me do a... West Coast IPAs in 2021, or I guess 2022. We got a chat going on there. IPAs over 6.3%. I'm going to go, I don't know. I'm going to make that beer at 6.3%. And that's what I'm going to do. Todd, what was your answer for 2022? 2022.
For where? What?
West Coast IPA signature beer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You go high, you go low.
I would go at 6.5. But
You'd go high, 6.5?
Yep.
Okay, so I think the majority of people are voting over 6.31. I want to know what Jorge Castro is because he had a good comment the other night. He owns a brewery down there in Puerto Rico called Box Lab, and he says he takes some shit for having a 4.4 session hazy. Sounds like a dream beer.
It does. About to go into my Bauhaus Lounge Wizard Juicy Pale Ale.
Cheers,
Comes
Brush.
in at 5.2.
It's a great one.
It's my jam.
Yeah, it's great ABV for a beer. We'll turn this chat off here, or we'll turn this poll off here in like 5 minutes. All right, for those who are new to the chat, we got Todd here from Northern Brewer. He's the Barrage. He's been great to us since day one. I'm glad that we connected and we're still in touch. We have a great relationship. And I'm going to talk to you, Todd, when we get off this. I want to talk about some other YouTube channels you might want to put on your radar. And
Sure,
he's got
definitely.
he's got a great relationship with all of us. No one's ever had to rub the wrong way, which is awesome. And he's the right hand at Northern Brewer. He's one guy down from the president. He's being humble about it, but I'm putting him on blast.
Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal now.
Kind of a big deal. Doing pull-ups over here. 1001, 1002. And I apologize that I didn't have your video out sooner. I was out of town this weekend. I did a race up in Big Bear. I did one of those like Tough Mudder Spartan things, man, and it kind of
Nice. How'd that
sucked.
go?
Sucked.
Why?
I thought like it was going to be a turkey trot. I thought it was going to be like, I just looked at it. It was 3.5 miles, and I just figured like I got this, and I do pull-ups and push-ups, and I run. But this is completely different. Gnome Brewing in the house, man. He's been in the house. He's the Barrage. He comes on the channel. Cheers all. Have one on me, CH. I will. I'm going out with that buddy here in about 20 minutes, and I appreciate that, Gnome. I know your name. I know your last name too, and I'm not going to say it, but thanks, Barrage. His name is a bass player from System of a Down. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it sucked. I just don't like running with wet socks and stuff like that. It's like a mini. I don't know what it's like to obviously do boot camp or they do the whole like Navy SEALs kind of stuff. Just run up a hill for a mile, and then you got to hop over all this stuff, and then run through. Dunk your head in 40-degree water, and it just sucked. It sucked.
Yeah,
and it sucked that I didn't put out a real Homebrew for Life video this week.
Yeah, no problem for us. Like you said, just with everybody, it's as long as there's good beer getting made and then good content going out.
Yeah,
we're happy with it. So there's no need to apologize to me.
Appreciate that. And it's a niche beer. We're gonna do the Roush beer, and Northern Brewer sent us the stuff. Again, there's a brewery right by my house called Northern Pine. I always get that confused. But yeah, it's gonna be more niche. The more general it is, the more shine it's gonna get. You know, we did our last video with Northern Brewers. It was just called How to Make Beer, and it did phenomenal. It's got almost 7,000 views in a week. So thank you to everybody who watched that. And it's just kind of a recap of what you do now if you could go back in time type video. And it was perfect. It was one of the best videos we made. And we kind of switched up the format. We made it, usually our videos around 15 to 18 minutes, which is just way too long. It's just ridiculous because our average viewer watches it for about 5 minutes. And the system was great. The beer turned out great. You just need a stove. They send you the bottle capper. They send you the caps. The bottling buckets are phenomenal. And they're probably, what are they, about 7 or 8 gallons? They're way bigger than Home Depot buckets, the plastic fermenters.
Yep, yeah, 6.5 is
6.5
to the brim.
Yeah, and it just was awesome. And I forgot about extract brewing, and I haven't done it in so long. And before that, Trent and I, the brew show, we did brew in a bag, and I just forgot. Like, there's just different ways to brew beer. Like, you could do this in a motorhome. You could do this in a trailer. You know,
and extract gets such a bad rap, right? Because so many people just have it when they're starting.
Right.
The whole argument about like, you got the extract tang, or, it's like, well, if you get somebody has a lot of experience brewing beer and then uses the tips and tricks that they've learned over years, they make a pretty fantastic extract beer. Absolutely.
And when I got into homebrewing, there was no stainless steel fermenters, but the Halo system was the 3 kegels. It was the 3 pretty much kegels. I mean, it was custom. These kits not these kits, but these stands that people were building were out of control, man. It would have like, this $1,000 welded thing on wheels, and then each kegel would have a burner underneath it. And I had one of those for a while, and it was a nightmare. This burner doesn't work as good as this burner. This burner went out, or this pump's not working. And it's like, guys, you don't need pumps. We don't need all this stuff. But when I got into homebrewing, that was the bee's knees. That was the shit. That was. So those were the guys that were like, extract's a joke. Brewing the bag's a joke. Don't squish the bag. And it's like, I agree. I disagree with all of that stuff. And those guys probably aren't even as brewing as much as the extract people. I don't know. That's subjective, but.
Yep. No, it's spot on. I was telling the group, I think when you were doing what you were doing, I had built a 30-gallon system, Unistrut, and it was pretty badass. And luckily, I knew a guy who worked at a homebrew shop, so I got some really great deals on equipment. And, but then all of a sudden I quit brewing, and now the small batch stuff is a lot more easier. And it's, I'm 41 now, and not the 25 where I could go through, 25, 30 where you could just burn through a whole bunch of beer. It's
sure.
I don't get to party as much as I used to.
And you hang out with less people. The older I get, the more people, when I was younger, I could drink more, but there was also more people drinking my beer. I got into brewing, I think I was 29, 30 years old. And now it's like, I don't really have that many guys over like I used to. People just get older. People have kids. You're like, damn, I'm stuck with like 10 gallons of 7% beer. Like, this is going to be here for a long time.
Or it's going to be some big nights. And like during COVID, like in the height of our lockdowns, like, we drank a lot of beer up here, but now with work, like kind of being a little bit more normal, it's like, okay, I don't need to get through a 6-pack.
No. Really quick to answer the poll. Most people, IPAs over 6.3%, 75% said yes, 25% said no. We got 52 votes. I think 6.3 is a good over-under for that. We're talking about COVID, Todd. I think COVID sucked for the entire world. At some point, it affected anybody, but it was great for YouTubers. It was great for people that work at Netflix. It was great for people that work in porn sites, in social media. People are staring at screens of technology more.
Right.
Did you guys benefit from COVID?
Yeah. It was great for us.
People got back into homebrewing?
Right. The biggest reason why people stop homebrewing is because they don't have time. Like the first weekend when they've been doing it the whole time, it's like, oh no, I'll do it next weekend, and it just keeps mounting and mounting. Yeah. But all of a sudden they were in a situation where they had all the time in the world. So
yeah, I saw my numbers go up. There's no doubt in that. There's no denying that. And not only that, but I was able to put out way more content. I remember the year before COVID, I put out a December video. It's just kind of a recap. Like, hey, this is the channel. We're all kind of douchebags when we make homebrew for life videos, but here's kind of us when we're just kind of out of character, I guess, when we're not trying to be all like douchebag jocks. But I remember making a promise. I was like, hey, in 2019, no, it must have been in 2020. This must have been 2019. And I said something, hey, we're going to guarantee you 2 Homebrew for Life videos every month. And I thought that was so much work because I was working at a brewery and I was working construction full time. And any little ounce I had of free time, I was trying to, express myself on YouTube. And then COVID hit and I was out of both jobs. And I was like, damn, like we started putting out pretty much videos once a week, and the channel went from like whatever 10,000 to 20,000 subscribers pretty fast. I was like, this is what you have to do. Like you have to pretty much treat this as a real job, and that's the only way this thing kind of works. And I saw like every comment was like, hey, thanks for getting me back into homebrewing. You got me back into homebrewing. Not every comment, but a lot. And I was like, yeah, you motherfuckers lost your jobs too.
Yep.
Everybody lost their job. Yeah. Everybody's collecting unemployment or trying to figure something out.
Right. So yeah, the over time, I guess historically I should say, there's a direct trend to the economy and where people are at for homebrewing.
Absolutely.
One of the most interesting stats from the AHA is just the correlation between unemployed white men between the ages of 18 and 44 and how it compares to homebrewing. And it's just, it's almost parallel the way it runs. And so I guess, so it's like when unemployment's high, so is homebrewing.
Right.
When everybody's working, it's not so much. But that was further demonstrated by the COVID situation, and just said like, man,
Bodine's
people
Brews.
need time to do it instead of whatever else they're doing.
Big shout out to Bodine's Brews, man, for getting me back into homebrewing. That's what we're here for, man. Thank you for that donation and that kind choice of words. So how was the other recession? How was 2009 when the housing market crisis went to shit? Was homebrewing?
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of right before your time.
Right.
In the industry.
It was just, and that's kind of when it was picking up, right?
You were at
so
Target.
That's when homebrewing was like, I was at Target in 2009, then came to Midwest Supplies in 2010. So it was on the rise. It was growing in popularity, and it just kind of continued that rise until that 2013, 2014 that we talked about earlier. It was just a swing.
You talked about white guys ages 18 through 45, and I look at my analytics. I don't know race. It doesn't show me race, but it definitely shows gender, and it's pretty much 100% male that watch Homebrew for Life channel. Is that
Sure.
How come no non-white people, aside for the exceptions of maybe a couple, and no females brew beer?
Yeah, if I knew the answer,
Because it's cooking.
Probably,
You're making liquid bread.
It is cooking. But there's a certain level of the nerdity that goes into it, right? For just where people have to, like, they get into it and they just go with it. In the way old days, it often was the female of the house or the matriarch that was brewing, but they weren't necessarily brewing beer to make, like, they weren't trying to mix things up. They were just trying to make beer for the house. That was their mission. So I don't know if the wide range of what can be done doesn't appeal to some other groups or where that lies, but there's definitely something. The AHA has been concentrating on it for a long time about trying to make the hobby more diverse. Bodine just mentions Flora Brewing. It's great that she's out there and doing the things that she's doing, but definitely aren't many women that are out on YouTube compared to male brew tubers or anything else either. And it's like it's hard to say exactly where that comes from. And good night, Steve.
What happened?
Steve's going to bed.
Apartment Brewer. Later, Steve. Have a good night, man. Thanks for the beers. So are you talking about your analytics are from America or this is worldwide? Because there's got to be people that, do you guys ship to Mexico and South America and Central America?
We ship to Canada only. So it's the U.S. and Canada right now. We're not worldwide. Too many challenges right now that we don't want to concentrate on. So
yeah, shipping during COVID's a nightmare too.
Yeah, people getting people to work and work in the warehouse is a nightmare. But so mostly this speaks to the U.S. side of things. Is just definitely there's got to be some ways to get more people involved and make it more fun. But it's a really weird hobby. Golf is dying down, right? And that's another hobby that takes golf. Right?
Golf is dying down?
Golf is losing a little bit of its appeal. Not as many people are out golfing. That's another thing where it takes that 4 to 6 hours or a big chunk of a Saturday. People aren't doing it. And so I don't know if that's a big piece of why others aren't getting involved with it, is the time commitment and how it does kind of take over your life or where it is. But
too much technology.
Or we're just not reaching them.
I love it. I get into golf and everybody gets out. I love it. You know what? It's funny because Raul, there's a guy in here. Sorry, I'm being rude. There's a guy in here that has a channel from Mexico, and his channel is driven by his language. So the people that speak English are traffic. I'll tell you right now, 60% comes from America. And then we get some Canada love, and then we get some Western Europe love, and then New Zealand, Australia. And surprisingly, Sweden's pretty high on the list. 10% of the people that watch Homebrew for Life are Swedish, and they never comment. They never hey, you're from Sweden. Nothing. I don't know. They're fucking weird. That's why they own Booze Brothers. I'm kidding. My buddies who own Booze Brothers are Swedes, and I don't know. We don't get it. But Raul was from Mexico, and he looks at his analytics, and as far as gender goes, it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much 100% male. And when we're talking about this stuff, we're talking about how do they get our information, and it's when you sign up for a Gmail account. And it's pretty rare for someone to lie about when you sign up for a Gmail account, they're like, hey, what's your date of birth? Are you male or female? Right. Most people tell the truth. So the analytics are pretty accurate. They're very accurate. And he looks at his traffic, and it's Spain, Mexico, South America, stuff like that. And we're doing the exact same thing. We're making a grain to glass IPA tutorial with the same equipment, with the same topic, thumbnail, and this and that. Completely different audiences, completely different everything based off what language you speak. And people there is subtitles for YouTube and stuff like that. I don't watch any non-English speaking YouTube channel. I just don't. I have to put on subtitles for Game of Thrones and Peaky Blinders. I don't even know what English people are fucking saying all the time. And what drives that industry or the success of that is just your native language and how popular that language is. English, very popular. Spanish, very popular. Mandarin, Cantonese in China, extremely popular. We're doing the exact same thing, making homebrew tutorials over there. We're never going to cross each other's paths. No one that speaks Mandarin or Cantonese or speaks English is watching what the Asian CH brew show people are doing. They just have their own audience based off language is the ultimate viewer retention rate. If I had to watch something in Spanish or German or something, the average video duration would be significantly low. Like I said earlier, the average user duration on our channel is about 6 minutes all across the board. I have 200 videos on YouTube. Our channel gets about 100,000 views a month. And some videos are 3 minutes, some videos are 20 minutes. The average view duration is 5 minutes. If I brought in somebody that was the best Spanish-speaking brewer or Spanish brewer of all time, and he was speaking Spanish, my average viewer duration would probably be 30 seconds that month.
Sure.
Language drives YouTube. Language drives like the success of your channel.
Yeah, language is a huge part.
Yeah.
I think it is to that point of diversity where it's just, okay, how do we find those other communities that are making beer or doing different types of fermentation and kind of bringing all the communities together in some capacity, where it's, if you're fermenting Tella, which is an African, celebratory drink, you're fermenting, but like, why can't we connect with
language
people that are making beer? And yeah, exactly.
And we're lucky that we speak English because most people, like a lot of Spanish people, are bilingual. A lot of people from Europe are bilingual. A lot of people from Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, are bilingual. Americans pretty much speak one language. I'm going to answer this.
I'll answer a couple of questions from East.
What up, dude? Hey, are you there? I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yes, the East inflation has impacted pricing. Supply chain, that's another thing that can affect prices. Basically it just comes along and it's getting harder and harder to get things in the U.S. that we need. So it's many challenges with that. I know there was some discussions about our maltsters and our relationships. We do order, we have some connections directly with maltsters, and we also use distributors for a few different things. So it can vary between which brewery or which maltster and kind of the relationship there. So all over the board, trying to catch a bunch of these questions that I saw pop through. Steve had asked, the Apartment Brewer had asked about any plans to carry more best malls. I'm not sure on that one. We are bringing in some new grains, trying to mix it up.
Todd.
Distributors. Yo!
All right. We got T-minus 5 minutes. My buddy's at the bar. I'm going to buy him dinner tonight.
No problem. Well, you got all these awesome super chatters and donations. So
we got a lot of love tonight,
group.
man. We got a lot of love tonight,
very
man.
Awesome.
And I think it's because you're here, man. And I want to give a big shout.
Probably something to do with that.
Absolutely, man. Without question. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. Tman,
I appreciate it.
We're going to get out of here. Does somebody have any more questions for Todd? And for the record, there's a link to Northern Brewer's homepage right in the description of this video. Check them out. They have pretty much everything. And when I mean everything, everything. I mean, we have a nitrogen system from them, and we made a video on that. And I'm going to bring that back for another video for, I think, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Stout. You got it, Bodians Brews. Absolutely, man. Thanks for the love, Bo. Thanks for the love, man. And anything else? Todd, you want to plug anything? Discount code for veterans. No. Discount code.
Oh, yeah, that was the one.
All these freeloaders.
We do have that. Basically, for a veteran, all you have to do is, after you place an order, send us an email at brewmaster@northernbrewer.com. Just tell us what your branch was when you served, and thank you very much for doing so. But then we'll give you that 10% off, normal exclusions.
You're the man, Todd. You guys rip over there.
Yeah.
Buy your shit from Northern Brewer. Don't buy it from Amazon.
Yeah. Even if there's affiliate links down below. No.
I know,
We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that, and
Right on.
we'll figure that out
Definitely.
for another day. Dan Diego in the house. Cheers, Brothers Lords. Darren Blackwood. Have a good night, Darren. Jorge Castro. Always the Braj. Theron. Have a half beer. Big shout out to Theron, man. And tomorrow night, it's Party Time Brewing out there in Canada. Next week, it's Ross, and it's Apartment Steve. Thanks for being here. Cheese eating good, drinking good. Anything else, Todd?
Thank you.
Man,
No, we're good. Thanks. Have a good dinner.
I'm walking over there. I'm gonna have a great time tonight. Later, Delonius.
Right.
All right, Todd. Here we go. This one's for the Braj.
Thank you very much.
I can't chug it. I'm burned out. All right, we're out of here, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
How do we do this?
Up the phone.